Web Development 101, Lesson 5, Part 2, using floats. So what we've learned so far lets us do some pretty cool layouts, but there are limitations to what we can do. So we're going to learn how to use float CSS property to make things a little bit more fancy schmancy. So without float, here's an example. So this is a simple layout with a paragraph. So if you look, there's a paragraph and an image. Here's the paragraph with an image right up inside that paragraph. Now that paragraph is background beige and the width of it is 200 for the image. So this has the text on the left and an image in the top right corner. In the example below, we're using the display property. Or if we use display, it wouldn't help. So let's try using width for the image. So you do width here, 200. Now the image is to the left of the text. So if we took that out, it would be like that, okay? So huge. So I'm going to put that back in. Let's talk about how we could make that work a little bit better. Using the float property, we can move an element to the left or the right side of the container that it's in. None means it won't float. That's the default. Left will float the to the left of whatever parent, so the container it's within. And the other stuff that's inside that container will take up the right side of the box. And then right is opposite. So if it's on right, that element will be on the right side and all of the other content will float on the left. So in this example, they add float right to that image. And now you can see that image displays on the right and the text displays on the left. Let's try changing this from right to left and see how that changes. Now the image is floating on the left and the right. Now I can tell you one of the things you would definitely want to do on here is add some padding to that, at least to the right side of like 10 pixels to get that content to move over a little bit so that it's not all smooshed up in there. The clear property allows us to specify if other elements can be displayed to the left or the right of our box. So for clear, if you say none, elements can float on both sides, so they could go left or right. Left means elements can only be on the left side of our box. Right means they can only be on the right, and both means they can neither be on the left nor the right. You would think none would be the answer there. It is not. It is completely backwards from what you would think. So much fun. So in this example below, the gray box, if we look here, gray box has a clear of none and a float right. It wants us to change from clear none to clear left. Notice how that box moves down a little bit. Now here's the challenge they're going to have us complete for this one. It says create a div element with a pink background color and a width and height of 100 pixels. Well, let's look at how they made these divs to begin with up here with these boxes. So let's not look at the styling for right now. Let's look at here. We have the body, we have a divide, we give it a name, and put whatever we want in it. Okay? That's how you make those divs. Okay? To style them, you do this, giving it a background color and handling the float and the clear. So let's look at what they want. So the first thing they said is to create a divide, and I'm going to call it pink. I have to spell class correctly though. And it doesn't even say to put anything in it, so we're just going to end it. Okay, and then it says to create another divide element, and that one is going to be, I'm just going to name it green because it has to do with the color that's in it. Don't do that. And div. All right, so we have these two elements in here. You can't see anything because we didn't do anything with them. So now we need to style them up in the styles. So if you look back at what they were doing at the top, it's a class. So we need dot to style it. And we need to style the background color of this one was pink. And the width and height should be 100 pixels. So both of them have the same width and height. So I'm going to make just a style here for the div tag. Width and height of 100 by 100. And you can see now, you can see that box starting to pop up. It also, that's it. That's all I need to do. So the other one is going to have a dot green. I'm going to have the green background. If I could name it. I'm missing letters constantly today. Background color green. All right, now align the pink colored div to the right and the green colored to the left. So I'm going to look at those float options that I can do for this. Oh, you're annoying little thing. There we go. Float. Pink, it said, going to the right. And left for green. Now, I wouldn't necessarily have to put the left in there and the right, but I do because I want to make sure that they stay that way. You could do the clear if you wanted to. If you wanted to make sure that the elements can be displayed on this one, they go to either side of the box of the divide. So we would be putting none in there, so there's no sense in putting that in. But there is that.